Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to do something I haven't ever done before, but the subject keeps coming up quite often, and that is how to properly operate a hydrostatic tractor. Now everybody has their own opinion and ways of doing stuff, so you don't have to agree with me. You do what you want to do, it's your equipment. But it comes up so often that I thought I would make a video especially for a hydrostatic tractor. Now, most modern day compact tractors or subcompact tractors have an auto throttle. And an auto throttle basically raises the RPM on the engine the faster that you travel. First and foremost, I want to explain that the forward and the reverse pedal on a hydrostatic is not the accelerator pedal. The worst thing you can do on a hydrostatic transmission on a tractor, if your tractor is bogging down or it seems like it's lacking power because of an incline, going up an incline, or pulling a heavy load, or whatever you want to imagine, a lot of people think you need to press harder on the forward pedal. That's the worst thing you can do. You're basically doing the direct opposite. Instead of going faster or giving it more power, you're actually bogging the tractor down even worse than it was to begin with. The way a hydrostatic transmission works, it has a angled swash plate inside, and I'm not going to go into this extreme detail on how the hydrostatic transmission works or operates in this video. But basically there's a slanted cylinder inside of a pump. It actually is the pump. It's called a swash plate, and it has multiple pistons all the way around the perimeter of that swash plate. And these pistons, depending on which direction, these pedals change that swash plate direction. It's almost like an aileron on a aircraft. But as you push down on the hydrostatic pedal going forward, it adjusts that swash plate, and these pistons, as they turn at an angle, they may go in, the pistons may go in at the top and all out on the bottom, and it's just a complete circular motion. All the pistons on top close or push, and all the ones on bottom come out, or it may be the direct opposite, depending on the hydrostatic transmission. What I'm trying to get to is, if you push too hard, or if the tractor is bogging, you were overloading that hydrostatic transmission. You're trying to tell it to do something that it cannot do. It cannot process that fluid any more than it's already doing. The best friend to a hydrostatic transmission is RPM. An auto throttle is great for if you're traveling from point A to point B and there's no load on the tractor, or there's no incline. If you're just traveling on a fairly flat surface, auto throttle is great. Has nothing to do with the emission system, whether you have a all mechanical fuel injected engine or a high pressure rail, common rail system that's completely computer controlled. It doesn't matter. The operation is the same according to the hydrostatic transmission and the way it operates. So I'm going to demonstrate today, or attempt to. I've never done this on camera before, or even thought about it till this morning. Decided to do this video, and hopefully it'll help somebody understand a little bit better how this whole little situation works. But again, the best friend that a hydrostatic transmission has is RPM from the engine. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I do. I crank my tractor up in the morning or in the afternoon, and whenever, and it's not been started since the day before or whenever, I let it sit there and start warming up, and I do not move this tractor until the temperature reaches 115 to 120. Usually it's above 120 because start the tractor and I go get my stuff together, whatever I'm going to do or whatever. And by the time I get back to the tractor, it's already warmed up and ready to go. But basically around 120 degrees, this tractor does, none of my tractors move until they get to about that temperature. That's spring, summer, fall, and winter. It don't matter. Depending on the type or brand of hydraulic fluid that you use, has a lot to do with how that hydrostatic transmission operates. If you know me, if you follow me on Facebook or you have watched my previous videos, you will know I'm a proponent of high quality tractor transmission hydraulic fluid. I have experienced the worst of the worst, the medium, the high, and the very best over all my years. So what I try to tell you is what I have already experienced or closely seen one of my friends experience, and I just try to pass that information down to someone else that may not know or may benefit from that information. But back to the tractor warming up, the hydraulic fluid works better if it's warmed up and it's not as viscous as it would be cold. Now, I'm not talking cold like minus 32 degrees. I'm talking about cold that it doesn't matter if the ambient temperature is 8 degrees or 82 degrees. That fluid needs to warm up to operate efficiently. I use TRIAX everything. Before that, I used Mobile Delvac, and it was great. I used it for over 3 years in this very tractor. It quietened down my transmission whine because it allows more lubrication and allows that hydrostatic transmission to operate more efficiently, and it runs a little cooler. Less friction is less heat and less noise, generally. And then, of course, I switched to TRIAX when it was time for my 300-hour service, and I discovered that it was even better than Mobile Delvac. I don't want to argue about that. A lot of people say there's no difference in brands, and, well, you think what you want, think, partner, but the proof is in the pudding. But anyway, I don't mean to be rambling on. This thoughts keep popping in my head to mention. But I'm going to demonstrate today the differences between operating the tractor in an auto throttle and operating the tractor with the RPM and the optimum level. I'm not going to try to talk what the tractor is running, so I need to explain a couple of things here. I don't know if you will notice in the audio or not. I'm going to try to get that camera as close to the tractor without running over it, so you can possibly hear the difference in sound. The most important thing I want you to take from this video today is the very best result in having your RPM up when you operate your forward and reverse pedals is there's no jerkiness when you're doing fine work or trying to ease into something or, doing close quarter work or whatever. This tractor, once it warms up, I put the throttle on 2,000 RPM, and that's where I leave it until I'm finished for the day and it gets parked in my tractor shed, unless I'm going to be away from it for just a few minutes, and I'll throttle down. That also helps keep your DPF cleaner because it keeps the DPF hotter where it will stay cleaner. I have never had a regen on this tractor in over almost 340 hours. I expect it to be many, many hours until it does, if it ever does. It may not ever. But again, when your RPMs are up, you can feather your forward pedal where you can't hardly even tell the tractor's moving, but if you look at the tires, you can tell that they're moving. You can't do that with auto throttle. You don't have that finite control with an auto throttle, because as soon as you start pressing on the forward or reverse pedal, that throttle via a mechanical link is going to start raising that RPM. So you will never, ever, ever have a constant link between the engine RPM and your forward and reverse pedals in auto throttle. But you will have that situation if your throttle is already up and you control your forward and reverse movement, the speed, with your pedals. So let me shut up and do this demonstration, and hopefully the differences will show up on camera. I appreciate you hanging in there with me, and I'll be right back. I have no idea if that audio is showing up because I'm still out here in the glade, but hopefully that audio, when I go back to edit, that audio is available, that you can hear the difference between the auto throttle and being throttled up, operating the forward and reverse pedals. Sitting in the operator's seat, being that I'm hearing impaired drastically, I can tell a major difference in the hydrostatic transmission when the engine is throttled up at 2 grand. There's virtually, with this TRIAX Supreme full synthetic tractor hydraulic fluid, this transmission is virtually silent. that's not what I'm pushing in this video. What I'm pushing in this video is to understand the difference between auto throttling up and making that hydrostatic transmission and swash plate work harder than being already throttled up and controlling everything with your feet instead of varying the throttle. I hope that makes sense. It will all make sense if you could tell the difference in the audio, the way this tractor sounded in auto throttle and being throttled up. If you want smooth transitions from speeding up or slowing down or going, really ultra slow, you need to have your tractor throttled up so you can have that finite control. It will just do yourself a favor and throttle up. Yes, an engine running higher RPM will use more diesel fuel. Make it easier on yourself and make it easier especially on your tractor. Again, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to do what I say or take my advice. There's three, 4, 5 people has asked me about this recently. And that's what kind of prompted me this morning to make this video, was to maybe there's other people out there that don't fully understand how a hydrostatic transmission works. It's a totally different animal from an all-gear tractor that I have, and I have 2 of them, matter of fact. But a shuttle shift with a clutch, a power shuttle with a clutch, there's zero comparison as far as mechanically how they work. A hydrostatic transmission is nothing more than a hydraulic pump. That hydraulic pump changes direction inside those little pistons on the perimeter of the swash plate when you tell it what to do. If you want to go forward, it makes those swash plates and pistons do one thing. If you want to back up, it does the opposite. But it takes hydraulic fluid flow to make that hydrostatic transmission work and work well. So the higher your RPM are, the smoother that transmission is going to work and less jerky. So anyway, if you have any questions or arguments, just hit me up in the comments. I don't know everything. I just try to share what I've experienced and what I have learned and learn from other people. So hopefully someone enjoyed this video and someone learned something today on operating a hydrostatic tractor. Thank you very much and take care.